Some might suggest, of course, it's now time to go back to the day job. The day job, of course, that we now believe is potting jam somewhere in a kitchen in Montecito surrounded by lemons that hopefully are not going to go off by the time the recipients get that pot of jam. I thought that was a bit unkind actually, because it's not necessarily her fault. You don't know when they delivered it, whether people really were just late delivering it, whatever. But the bottom line is presentation is everything, particularly when you're launching a brand new business. And this is, of course, what Meghan Markle is trying to now do, launch herself as a lifestyle queen. And it's not easy, you know, it really takes a lot of hard graft, a lot of hard work, and people have to believe that you're 100% invested in it. I'm not so convinced. I'm convinced that she's invested in it. We've seen a bit of a lackluster performance with the pots of jams, right? Now here's where it gets really interesting, because a lot of people were shocked by this particular event when Prince Harry came over back here to the United Kingdom. As ever, let me explain. Terrific to see you today. You all right? Yes, you're looking well. No, you are actually. Yes, I will take no notice of the rest of them. Once you've come to life, your second coffee or your second cup of tea, you start to warm up a bit, don't you? I often think, you know, as the coffin lid slides open and I climb out, you know, pulling the dagger out my heart as ever. I'm joking, of course, but you know what I mean? You wake up some days, don't you, and think, I didn't look so bad when I went to bed. Now, you look like Dracula's father getting out. You think, how did this happen, you know? But it's just age. It's terrible, isn't it? You find things and you think, I never noticed that before. How come I can't do that anymore? You know, yes, you're with me, aren't you? That's the trials and tribulations of living a long life. Don't we know it? Now, back as ever to your roll story of the day. Yeah, a lot of people were shocked when Harry came back to the United Kingdom, particularly when he was supported by none other than Diana's sister and Diana's brother, Earl Spencer. Charles Spencer, as I said, many people know. I know him, so full declaration, lovely man. I got on well with him. I know a lot of people have issues, but you have to take people as you find them in that moment. It's not really up to, you know, everybody else. Oh, no, you can't like them. You know, you don't know them. I can only tell you about the snapshot periods that I've spent with them, and that's the period that, you know, I reflect on. Now, what's interesting here is, as you can imagine, a lot of people were shocked by that. I wasn't really. As I said, I thought it was quite nice that they came out to support him. Clearly they know, as I said to you before, what a delicate flower, and I mean that nicely, Prince Harry truly is. Here's where it gets interesting though, because Netflix are pushing hard for Meghan and her team to now invite Charles Spencer onto her much vaulted cookery show. You know, it's all about friends, cooking, family, right? He ticks all three boxes. Yes, great connection. And let's not forget, of course, that Meghan feels that she at points is able to contact Princess Diana, allegedly, and have those chats. So maybe they could have a chat about what Diana's been chatted about to Charles. Who knows? I know I'm being glib and unkind, but you get the picture. You can understand why this would work very well, particularly for Netflix, because Charles Spencer is very, you know, interesting. He's had a very interesting life. And of course, he has a brand new book out and a podcast. So he also has things to plug. What you've got to do now is try and persuade him, and this really would be a very big move, because it would show exactly which side of the fence possibly he's leaning on. And I don't believe in taking sides. As I say, you know, it's really up to the individual. But as everything now really hinges on this particular cooking show being something of a success, you can understand why they're trying to pull out the stops. And will Meghan be able to persuade him? Or indeed, will it be down once again to hapless Harry having to use his contact book, his charm, persuasion, and everything else that he's brought to the marriage for Meghan to make sure that she has some modicum of success? Either way, it's a developing story, and when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean behind some wonderful, beautiful flowers finally arrived here in the spring in the very heart of London.